welcome back. So we are going to be reading from our little book, Hold Me Up a Little Longer, Lord. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the title. It's called The Healing. For me, it's on page 92 and 93. It's kind of long, so I'm just going to kind of get started. But I do want to say thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a wonderful week. We're almost to the weekend, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. And I probably will not have a devotional up on Monday for the simple fact it's going to be Memorial Day weekend. So there won't be one up on Monday, but we will resume. So I'm just going to put that out there. But I want y'all to know how much I appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a wonderful day. So let's just get started and see how the Lord wants to minister to us today. The healing. Thank you, Lord, that tonight my heart is light, like something newly freed. For I have discovered how to heal it of an unexpected wound, one of those slight, seemingly small rebuffs or humiliation or blows that ought not to hurt so much, but for some of us who are unduly sensitive, maybe they do. A bawling out from the boss, a scolding from someone dear, a sharp word from a friend, even rudeness from a stranger. Such things can strike the sunshine from the day. The spirit winces, beats a quick retreat. We feel our wet eyes sting. Then pride urges retaliation. Sometimes we want to turn on somebody else as if to pass the pain along. Only now, Lord, I know the true way to relief is to cancel out the pain by doing something kind. Thank you that today, still seething and suffering, I found myself seated on a bus beside a small, shabby man. And I realized, as he stared fixedly out the window, that he was struggling not to cry. And my own little hurt seemed to shrink before the enormity of his. I knew I must speak to him, and I did. And he turned to me, Lord, and drew from his threadbare wallet a picture of a bright-eyed little girl, 6 years old. We lost her yesterday, he said. He was going now to pick out flowers. He wanted to talk about it. He was glad somebody cared. In our few blocks ride across the city, we shared it. His pride in her and his great loss. And we touched upon the mystery of being born at all, of being parents, of the brevity and beauty of life upon your earth. And when we parted, he was actually smiling. You made me feel so much better, he said. You've made me feel better too, I told him, for my own petty pain no longer mattered. It was as if some balance had been struck between that which is hurtful and that which is healing. And perhaps that is all that really matters, that the good, the kind, and the decent in this world can equal and even surpass the bad. Thank you that I have learned this lesson, Lord. Next time, it surely won't be so hard to overcome an unexpected hurt. As I was finishing up, the thought come to my mind about how light cancels out dark. And it's so true. And I get where she's coming from. You can be going along and having a wonderful day, and maybe somebody on the road does something that makes you mad, or they cut you off, or they throw you the finger, or something like that for no reason. And then maybe you did do something and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And then they are just so rude about it, whatever the circumstance. It can really, really, really just make your day awful, the whole day, because you kind of keep reliving it over and over. And sometimes, in my case, maybe I read a comment that just kind of like, did they mean it the way it sounded, and it can just like devastate me, because I'm not proud to admit this, but also I'm not ashamed of it. I'm very sensitive, and that's a good thing, and it can be a bad thing. When you want to be really hard and not let things hit you so hard and you take them so personally, well, it's a bad thing. But also, when you see things that maybe other people would not even affect them, then it's a good thing because you're more soft. So it's, but I get where she's coming from. I'm sure we've all experienced a situation where you've had your feelings hurt, or you've been in a situation where, a stranger, even a family member, has said something that's kind of hit you wrong, and it kind of like stung, and you can't get over it. You kind of keep thinking about it and reliving it. I mean, that happens to me, and I'm currently dealing with that. And I'm trying so hard to not let all the good be wiped away for this one little bitty thing, because I wouldn't want people to feel that way about me. I'm sure I've said things that have come across in a way I haven't meant it and I didn't know it. I'm sure I've done things unintentionally that have affected people, and I don't want to do that. And that's why I catch myself even on the road, because road rage is real, but I'm trying not to have it. And that's why when, somebody does something and it's just kind of like, as long as nobody's hurt, I'll just say, it's okay to myself. I mean, they can't hear me because they're in another car, but I've done stupid stuff like that before too, We're human, it's life, move on. I'm not going to let it, I'm not going to be rude and hateful to them because they maybe did something without thinking. And, it's just one of those things. You know what I mean? Whatever. Anyway, I digress. But I have been where she's been, where I have been maybe insulted, had somebody be rude to me or whatever, and in turn, not project that onto someone else. Instead, I would project the kindness, because I know how I was feeling at the moment, and so I didn't want them to feel that way. And I never want to be the cause of somebody having a bad day. I just don't. I just never want anything I say or do to be the reason somebody has a bad day. I love how she, is feeling so hurt, so like wounded. She calls it unexpected wound. Man, I can't talk today. I just cannot get my words out. She even refers to it as a humiliation or a blow that ought not to hurt so much. Totally understand. But she decided to not pass what she was feeling on to someone else. The negative. She decided to show kindness. And when she began to show kindness to this little man who was sitting there crying. Let's see, was he crying? She said, he began to cry, but she said he was just a small, shabby man. She didn't judge him based on his shabbiness, his appearance. And she realized as he stared fixedly out the window that he was struggling not to cry. Okay, struggling not to cry. We just never know what others are truly going through and what they are battling. We never know. I know I've been around people that they have the smile that can just light up a room, but inside they are dying. They are so hurt. I've been around people who can make you laugh till your stomach aches because they're just so funny and so seemingly lighthearted. But they're not that way at all. That's not how they feel inside at all. We truly never know what battles others are fighting. And I'm sure y'all have seen the meme. I've seen the meme, always be kind because you don't know what someone's battling or what they're going through. It's so true. We truly never know just what others are going through. And in her decision to show this little shabby man kindness, she realized he had just lost a child the day before? Yesterday. Yeah, the day before. the grief. How he was just sitting up there not crying is beyond me. But her showing him that bit of kindness and letting him talk about the little girl and saying that he was on his way to pick out flowers and stuff. And just being present, listening to him, giving him the time to talk if he wanted to. Some people don't want to talk about it, and that's totally fine. But undoubtedly, this little man wanted to talk about it. And then his words to her was, "Thank you, you've made me feel so much better." When it's like, no, thank you. You've made me feel better because two things. You've shown me that I really don't have any problems. I'm not going to pick out flowers for my child I just lost yesterday. I just got some hurt feelings that I'll get over, But then showing her that, just that little bit of kindness, what effect it can truly have on a person's life. We may not feel like being kind is impactful and as powerful as it really is, but y'all, you know how you feel when you're shown kindness. I know how I feel when I'm shown kindness. It is as impactful and as powerful as being rude and hateful, just in a different way. So I'm going to choose to be kind. I'm going to choose to fight the human nature in me that when someone is rude or hateful to me, instead of retaliating, I want to then show them more kindness. Easier said than done, I know. Much easier said than done, but it can be done. And again, just like practicing positivity and thankfulness and gratefulness, and just the more we practice that, the more it's gonna become a habit. Same thing with showing kindness. The more you practice kindness, the more you go out of your way to be kind, then the more that's just gonna become a habit, So that's what I want to do. I never want to be the cause of someone having hurt feelings, whether it be on purpose or unintentional. I never want to be the cause of somebody having a bad day, be it intentional or unintentional. And I want the words, "Thank you, you've made me feel so much better." That's the goals I want. And in doing that, we're also showing the love of Jesus. That's the most important thing. Jesus did not retaliate with hatred or rudeness. He retaliated with love and gentleness. And that's what I want to do. I want to fight the devil every way I can. As much as I hate that old slewfoot, anything I can do to black his eyes, I want to do it. Anything I can do to cause him to have a bad day, I want to do it. And how can that be achieved? By being kind, by loving my neighbor, by showing others the way that God, the mercy that God has shown me, extending that same mercy to others. That's how I can black his eye. That's how I can ruin his day. And I want to do that. I want to just black his eye and ruin his day because I hate him. I hate the devil and all his little imps he's got out there with him. I want no part of them. And anything I can do to just ruin his day, I'm all for it. But on the other hand, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope that if you get the opportunity, if it presents itself, that you just show so much kindness and love to others, despite what you may be going through yourself, despite how you may really be feeling inside, just black as eye, and show others the kindness and love that the Lord shows you. That's what I'm going to do today. That's going to be my goal. I've actually got to run out and do some errands, so I'm sure the opportunity is going to present itself, and I'm sure with this devotional, he's on high alert. So I'm going to go out of my way to show others the love of Jesus, extend them the kindness and the understanding that I would enjoy and want. Let's do it, y'all. We can do this. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.